You're not lazy. Your parents are wrong, and science can prove it. If you're a teenager who feels like death every morning at 6 a.m., your brain is literally fighting against you. And here's the thing nobody tells you: it's supposed to. There's a biological war happening inside your body right now, and you're losing it every single morning. Here's why. Let's start with what everyone gets wrong. For decades, parents, teachers, and society have labeled teenagers as lazy, unmotivated, rebellious. Just go to bed earlier, they say, as if it's that simple. But in the 1990s, a researcher named Mary Cascadon at Brown University discovered something that changed everything. She studied teenagers' sleep patterns and found something shocking. Teenage brains are biologically programmed to stay awake later and wake up later than adults. This isn't a choice. This isn't rebellion. This is biology. Around puberty, something happens in your brain. Your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock, physically shifts forward by about 2 hours. Adults naturally get tired around 10 p.m. Teenagers, their brains don't start producing sleep hormones until 11 p.m. or later. You're not staying up late because you're on your phone. You're on your phone because your brain won't let you sleep. Here's what's actually happening inside your teenage brain. Your body produces a hormone called melatonin. It's your brain's sleep signal. In adults, melatonin levels start rising around 9 or 10 p.m. But during adolescence, this gets delayed by 2 to 3 hours. Your brain doesn't start secreting melatonin until 11 p.m. or midnight. This is called sleep phase delay, and it's documented in over 50 peer-reviewed studies across multiple countries. It happens to nearly every human between ages 13 and 25. But here's where it gets worse. Teenagers also need more sleep than adults, not less, more. The National Sleep Foundation recommends 8 to 10 hours for teens, compared to 7 to 9 for adults. So you're going to bed later, and you need more sleep. Do the math. If your brain won't let you sleep until midnight, and you need 9 hours of sleep, you shouldn't be waking up until 9 a.m. But most high schools start at 7:30 or 8 a.m. You're being forced awake during what your brain considers the middle of the night. Dr. Judith Owens, a sleep researcher at Boston Children's Hospital, calls this societal jet lag. Imagine flying from California to New York every single Sunday night, then being expected to perform at your peak on Monday morning. That's what teenagers experience every single week. This isn't just about being tired. The effects are catastrophic. Sleep deprivation in teenagers has been linked to depression and anxiety. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence found that teenagers who get less than 7 hours of sleep are 3 times more likely to experience suicidal thoughts. Academic performance drops. Your brain consolidates memories during sleep. When you're sleep deprived, your ability to learn decreases by up to 40%. You're literally studying harder to learn less. Car accidents. The AAA Foundation found that teenage drivers who sleep less than 6 hours have double the crash risk. In fact, drowsy driving causes more teenage deaths than alcohol. And here's something that'll blow your mind. Chronic sleep deprivation during adolescence can permanently alter your brain development. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and emotional regulation, is still forming during your teenage years. It needs sleep to develop properly. When you don't get enough sleep during adolescence, studies suggest it can affect your brain for the rest of your life. So what happens when
In
schools
2016,
actually listen
Seattle
to science? Public schools delayed their start time from 7:50 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. Researchers from the University of Washington studied the results. The findings were published in Science Advances, one of the most prestigious scientific journals in the world. Students gained 34 minutes of sleep per night. Grades improved. The median grade went up by 4.5%. Attendance increased. Tardiness dropped by 20%. But here's the most important part. students reported feeling happier, less stressed, and more engaged in school. Similar experiments happened in other districts. Minnesota schools that shifted to 8:30 a.m. starts saw SAT scores increase by over 200 points. Car accident rates dropped by 70% among teenage drivers. This isn't theory, this is proven, replicated science. Yet most schools still start before 8:30 a.m. Why? Because it's inconvenient for adults. Bus schedules, parents' work schedules, sports practice times. Your biology is being sacrificed for logistical convenience. So, what do you do if you're stuck in this system? First, understand this isn't your fault. You're not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. But here are some strategies backed by sleep science. Light exposure. Your circadian rhythm is controlled by light. Get bright light exposure in the morning, open curtains, go outside. Avoid blue light from screens 1 to 2 hours before bed. This won't override your biology, but it helps. Consistency. Try to wake up at the same time on weekends. I know it sucks, but massive sleep schedule shifts on weekends make Monday mornings even worse. Naps. If you can, a 20 to 30-minute nap after school can help. Not longer, you'll enter deep sleep and wake up groggy. Caffeine smart. If you need caffeine, consume it before 2 p.m. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, meaning it stays in your system way longer than you think. And most importantly, advocate. Talk to your parents, show them the research, share the Seattle study. Some states are passing laws requiring later school times. California did it in 2019, Florida followed. This is changing, but it needs momentum. Your generation is the most sleep-deprived generation in human history. You're expected to perform at levels previous generations never faced, with less sleep than your brain biologically needs. But the science is clear. The evidence is overwhelming. You're not broken. Your brain is fighting a war against a schedule that was designed for adults, not adolescents. So the next time someone tells you to just go to bed earlier, you can tell them the truth. Your biology won't let you. And that's not a weakness. That's being human. If this video made you feel seen, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Parents, teachers, friends who think they're broken. Because you're not broken. The system is.